Yes, that's perfect. Facebook Live. Let's do it. Okay. Behind the scenes. What's up, Facebook land? Yes. Yes, you're behind the scenes. Green screen, which we'll get. You'll edit that out. You'll put something fancy in the background later, right?
All right. Okay. So, I just want to turn it on?
I would say turn it on, and then I'll send it off to.
You'll edit it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make me look good, would you?
Hey, this is Tony Bird. We're here talking about Be Real and...
I'm sorry.
Wrong.
Nope.
Take two.
Take two. Nice.
Video. Okay. So now, I'll get this eventually. Sorry.
Looks good. I like.
Videos take a lot of work. Facebook.
Yeah, you gotta put the hours in.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
10,000 hours.
Is it rolling? Okay.
Hey, this is Tony Bird. We're here with Chris Angel, and we're going to talk about an event we have coming up called Be Real and Prosper. It's on May
9th, 1 to 5.
And we have a bunch of just amazing speakers. Chris is one of them.
Tony's one of them.
Let's talk about some of the others. Who else we got going?
We've got Leanne Ozane Smith. She's a financial planner. We've got Misty Springer from Misty Springer Wellness, who's a more than a health coach. She's like a whole life coach.
Yeah,
She's all
makes you just awesome.
Yeah,
right?
Yes, totally. We have Tara Weir, who taught at Gonzaga, and now she works with companies in town like Washington Trust on communication and workplace collaboration. We've got Kurt Stockwell from Well Dressed Walrus, who has a web design company, but also does marketing messaging.
Corey Staley.
Corey Staley, yeah, who does team building. He's retired from the military and spent a lot of time in leadership there, so he's talking on leadership.
And it's just going to be, think of TED Talks, but Spokane and way better, right?
Yeah, the TED Talk. I think it's better because it's not just high-minded ideas, those are there, but it's real gritty, honest, getting real, transparent, vulnerable about, the reality of being in business. Like, that takes something.
Yeah, Facebook isn't about you see when you're doing, when we were doing this Facebook Live, sometimes you screw up and you got to start over.
Right, yeah. I think one of the challenges for me in business is that I wouldn't say I'm a solopreneur anymore, but I have a team, but it's all digital. They're around the nation, and my clients are around the nation. So I get to spend most of my time in my home office with all my thoughts, all my wonderful thoughts about where I should be, why am I not there yet. Being in business can be a very lonely and soul-sucking experience, right? And we do our best, I think, in business to, let's go get them today, fire ourselves up.
Yeah.
But I think we spend a lot of time pretending that we don't have the feelings we have because we're afraid of what those feelings might mean.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's, people want to know, everybody has that feeling, and it's fair to say it. It's not going to ruin your business if you say it's happened a bad day.
Right. There was a podcast called the Startup Podcast from Gimlet Media. Loved that podcast. And they talked. Their first season. It was all about how do you start a company, right? And they were talking about the dark night of the soul, and I think that happens for business people a lot. The dark night of the soul could be a daily experience for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so that's just what is. That's just the environment that we show up to do work in, and we just play on top of it. But if we could actually quiet that, or even move past it, and start to move into more of a productive state, and get clear about I think part of the thing that creates that dark night of the soul is all the confusion that happens.
Right. So obviously if any business person should go to this, right? Because even though they say they're not having problems, they are, right? Come on.
I mean, that's the whole point, right? Just get honest about what's really happening.
Yeah. And so, any businesses that you think would benefit, or is it just kind of all of them?
Well, I definitely think if you're an entrepreneur, if you are in business for yourself, you own a business, I definitely think this is an important event to make time for, right? To invest in. If you're in business in a leadership position, it's not your business, but you work inside of a company and you are a leader inside that company. I also think this is a really important event to come to, because your ability to lead through vulnerability, through transparency, through authenticity, without being a victim, right? To lead from a place of vulnerability gives your team the space and the safety to also be vulnerable, but yet be productive. And if you're not that, then all you have is a bunch of robots trying to do what's culturally acceptable inside your company, and they don't give you their best, right? So, it works either way. If you own a business or you work inside a business.
And so we got a bunch of people talking about like how to lead better. We got you and Kurt are going to talk about messaging and marketing.
Yep. Check this out. Ann Long, awesome. She's going to talk about customer experience. I think one of the things in this day and age is, especially when you're trying to think about scale and moving faster, we sometimes forget about what is the experience our customers have.
Yeah.
And Ann Long is going to go into that. Like, we had 8 speakers, and I think we've now covered them all. I think we just talked about it all.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about marketing. I think one of the places people in business get lost is marketing. Like, how do we be? Most people aren't authentic in their marketing. Sometimes they take pictures of their lunch, which is fine. Listen, if that's how you play on Facebook or Instagram, that's cool. And just know, like, there is a way to add value over there. So the people who are interested in seeing your lunch are people who are either interested in food or they're interested in photography. But if that's not who you're trying to sell to, you've got to find another relevant inroad to relationship with them through your content in marketing. And you got to figure that out. And usually it's going to come from a place that's closer to home, that means more to you than what you think you're supposed to do with marketing.
I think one thing that kind of in that is, and this is going to, I'm a lender, but in real estate and lending, that message that you're going to talk about is so important, and everybody in the industry should be there, because like we have to deal with people that aren't going to buy a home for 9 years once they buy a home. And so like,
right.
how do you resonate with them or just communicate with them other than like buy a house?
Right.
So
right. Come to my open house, search all of those properties, look what I listed, look what I sold. I mean, I spent 17 years around the real estate industry, so I know how most marketing for realtors is. And it's not that it's bad. There's a time and a place for it when somebody's ready to buy or sell, but for 7 to 9 years, they're not. So what's your relevant inroad in conversation to build a common connection? And from that place, build a relationship. You can build a relationship digitally in this day and age, right? People talk about like, oh, kids are on Facebook or on their phones all the time. Relationships being built digitally, but you got to do it in a way that works. And if you just do it from a place of selling all the time, it doesn't work.
And that goes for everyone in business, right? Like they don't buy your stuff every day unless it's a Starbucks coffee or whatever, like.
Oh yeah, big time.
But you have to build relationships via social media.
Dude, I think that's the thing that people miss about marketing, especially in a digital age. Like they think it's not about relationship anymore. Like relationship is stuff we do offline. We have coffee, we write handwritten notes. But no, relationship is what is created online. We're just doing relationship differently. We're spending hours listening to podcasts, watching videos to see if we like somebody. And the more content they watch from you, the more relationship gets created. And this is what happens like with our clients. They'll have their clients reach out to them and say, I watched 20 of your episodes. I need to work with you. Like there's no conversation until that call, and that call happens and they're ready to work with them. But they've watched, how many hours of content have they watched about our client, right?
It happens to me all the time. Like you just, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've been watching your videos forever. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, who are you,
Yeah, right, I know, right? But they come into the relationship feeling like they know you. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. And we don't know them, but they feel like they know us. Mm-hmm. That's magic. That's magic. But you got to do it right. You got to be real. You got to be real in your content. If you're not real in your content,
you won't prosper.
You won't prosper. Bam. Good job. Yeah.
That's good. That's good marketing for the event.
Yeah, man. I want to say one shout out for you, because I know you're speaking as well. And I think you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like last we spoke about what you're speaking on. Like I think you're really good at challenging the status quo. Is that fair, or is that like?
I try to be.
I don't want to make enemies for you. Yeah. I think you're good at questioning how we do things, and I think a lot of times in business, whether it's money in business, marketing in business, personal development, growth, a mindset in business, whatever, we end up. It's very easy to latch on to what's popular to say. And I think you are like this voice in the world that's like, hey, that's not always how it is. And I think part of being real and prospering is questioning how things are done in order to find your own way into what works for you. Isn't that what you're kind of
a little? Yeah, I mean, the quote, well, that's not the way we always do it. I struggle with that a ton in my business, and so I've had to shift. At the end of the day, you have to do certain things to build business, whether that's make phone calls or whatever. But like, how do you get to that phone call so it's something that you're excited to do instead of instead of something you dread and makes you feel horrible after you're done.
Right.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and then just building momentum. Like, what do you do each day to maybe build a little bit of momentum as time goes on and create success long term via the short term stuff you do.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good event.
Me too.
I think it's gonna be really different as an event from, like, there'll be inspiration, you'll be inspired, but if you think about like return on investment, because it costs money. You have to buy a ticket. There's only 100 seats, right? And Spokane has, I don't know how many, like hundreds of thousands of people, right? There's 100 seats, but the investment the return on investment isn't just inspiration and feeling good when you're done. I really feel like people are going to walk away with a pragmatic, tactical, tangible way to do business the next day, like the following day, the day after the event. How you show up, who you be, how you think about being successful and prospering in business it's a paradigm shift. And that return on investment is, not to quote MasterCard, but it's priceless.
Priceless. I think one of the things I want to say is just this group of people that are talking at this thing have been around each other for a year,
right? Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
And like, we meet every Wednesday, and if you walk out 1/100th of the amount of inspired I do every week out of this thing, I mean, you should be paying way more than $69 to go to this event.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Good stuff, man. Thanks for talking about it.
So we can't see who's talking, but people are
What's up, Facebook? Yeah, we're going Facebook Live over here right now. See, this is, I mean, that's part of it, right? Like, you're capturing a moment. Like, I'm capturing it on my phone, and Tony's capturing it over here on his camera. And
got Monica back there running the screen.
I mean, this is 2019, people. We're creating content. So, yeah, man, good. Thanks.
We're good. Thank you.
See ya. And there you go, Facebook land. That's how you capture content while you're creating it, right? Like, I mean, Tony, anything else to say about that? Right.
That's it.
This is Tony Byrne, everybody. Fun. Tony is in Spokane. He is a mortgage guy who advocates for first-time home buyers and veterans. He's great at being an advocate for that specific market. Obviously, you could do loans for anybody, but I love that you have a specific place you come from and who you really want to help. We're doing an event. I mean, you guys heard it, right? You guys heard it. We're doing an event May 9th, but we're promoting it. This is how we're promoting it. We're doing interviews. Isn't that great? Interviews make everything so much easier. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with us, gang. See ya.